you all came listen. It's Thursday evening, 7 o'clock, and you are tuned in to Real Talk with Karen Weaver. Thank you all for tuning in. I need you all to share this out. We have a good show for you this evening. I'm very happy to have my special guest. In case people don't know, I want you to know, Elliott McCants. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for having me here. Appreciate it.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor Weaver, for
We are
inviting
so
me
glad.
back.
And you know what? And so let me say, because if some people could have been looking for Mercedes, you know what? Mercedes is at Charlie Wilson tonight.
Oh,
I
I'm
said,
sure you
okay.
invite everybody.
I did tell her, I said, I'm not mad at you. We're going to continue on. We're going to proceed without her.
and we're jealous.
And that's what I told her. I said, well, I'm jealous.
Mhm.
So have fun. Have fun.
But not too much. We
But-
didn't bring us home.
That's right. That's right. And so you all don't forget, like I said, share this out because I wanted to talk about something.
Okay.
It was Monday night.
Mm.
We were over at what is it, Accelerated Academy, the
The
old
old-
Scott School,
Mhm.
and there was a forum there.
Mhm.
And the ones that what I wanted to focus on here because there were a lot of people that were there to hear about the seventh ward,
Yes. Mhm.
the seventh ward, and
Where
both
we
of-
reside.
and that was why I wanted you all here.
Mhm.
I wanted some seventh ward residents
Mhm.
that were in attendance that night
Mhm.
to give me your thoughts. Let's talk about it because it was a nice crowd. There
Mhm.
could have been more people, but it was a nice crowd.
Mhm.
And we had the two candidates for the seventh ward there.
We did. We had.
Well, we did at least they both showed up.
That's true.
You know, we'll talk about that other one later, but at least they both showed up.
They did.
So let's start there.
Okay.
But so we had Jan Marie Arthur, who was
We did.
and Candace Michelle.
Mhm.
Before we talk about that, what are you all looking for your counts, for your voice in the seventh ward?
So I personally am looking for someone who is not cleaning up the neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
who is not creating urban gardens, but
Mhm.
who is creating policy.
Mm-hmm.
I think policy is lacking in Flint, like understanding the charter and understanding parliamentary procedure, understanding how to present, what's the word, on the council to discuss it. What's that word?
Oh, going by Robert's rules?
No.
Is that what you mean?
When we go to the meetings, they have this pages and pages of the, I can't think of the word. Well, anyway, putting things on the agenda,
Mm-hmm.
having the capabilities of how to do that.
Okay.
Understanding that it's important to go through committee before those things get to council.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding the importance of the information that's on that paper that we receive each time we go to council literally tells me about what those 6 numbers mean.
Okay.
I need to understand what the council people are looking at.
Okay.
How else can I address it? If I don't know, if you
Mhm.
just say item number 4, 5,
You know
6,
that
7, 8,
I've
9.
always thought I agree that they should say they can give the numbers, but then say what it is.
Exactly.
Because if you don't know, and if you don't have that piece of paper in front of you, if you're watching on, social media, you don't know what they're talking about
And if
until
you
they
wanna
start
talk about
talking.
it.
Exactly.
Right.
If you want to go and speak on it, if you can't get the information, if it just says, well, we're going to change something and remove something and delete something, of what?
You don't know. Okay.
Of what?
Mhm.
And I actually think it's a violation of the Open Meetings Act.
Okay.
The public should have everything that they have. Council people.
Right. I know. Yeah. What about you?
Well, for me, I would like to have a candidate that I know,
Mm.
that I've seen before. And I want to know, number one, what are your policies? But I also need you to listen to what I feel that we need in our in our ward, in our
Mhm.
neighborhood, in our community. And if I don't know you, then I have a problem with that.
Okay.
I want to be able to know that if we're going to be a community also means family,
Right.
and to a very large degree, we're a family here, and many of us have been here for quite a while, and we need to know how it is that you are going to be, quote unquote, the head of the household for us, and that you follow what we're asking you to follow, and not what you think is the best interest of you or just a few. If I don't know you, I don't know what your policies are. I'm not interested in supporting you because you're popular. You know what it is that you're
Ooh.
talking about and what it is that your policies
It's not a
are.
popularity contest. You want somebody that's going to do the job.
And you're going to be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I know you, I may be able to call you, knock on your door, say, "Can we meet for breakfast?" or whatever, and say, "There's some things that are taking place that I don't agree with, and I'm quite sure there are a large number of other people that don't agree with." Because if you want people to vote for you, you got to go knock on their door. You got to be personal.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know who you are,
And
you know,
comfortable with
right?
the community.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to be able to say, "Oh, if I see you at dinner, I see you at dinner, see him at dinner, I'm going to come up to you and I'm going to speak to you because we have a level of comfortability that we can interact in with each other." If I don't know who you are and I walk by you, I don't know who this person is, and we've never interacted before,
Right.
you know. So if I've never interacted with you, I don't feel that you can lead me in any way, shape, or form.
Well, someone that'll take my call.
Well,
That
that's
too.
important. You know what I want? I want someone that doesn't break the law as far as follow the charter. The charter is
Yes.
Yeah, the charter is
Yes.
supposed to be the law of
that's
the city,
supposed to be
right?
the law. I want people that aren't voting out our voices around that table. I don't want people saying, "Oh, we're going to vote this council person out of their seat and leave wards with no
Or
voice and
2
no
minutes is up.
representation."
Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop
Right.
talking.
So we were all there, and there were others there from the 7th Ward that were at this forum. What did you think about it? Did you hear anything that you liked? Did you?
Well, I think the forum was just an introduction,
Mm-hmm.
because most of the time the audience should be able to have an interaction with those people that are speaking, and you want us to vote for you, but all I'm hearing is who you are, and you're not allowing me to ask any questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested in voting for any of them
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not able to interact with them to see where they are and see how they answer my questions so that we can have some accountability.
Okay.
So we just have to sit here for 2 hours and listen to people talk. As an educator, I don't want anybody to sit there and listen to me to talk for 2 hours without being able to interact with me as well, because I get
You
bored
wanted
with
some back
myself.
and forth?
Absolutely. There's got to be some dialogue.
Okay.
And I think it's old school to do those kinds of debates now. I really do. And even at my age. And I think when you're at the community level, you're at the elementary school building, I want people to have an exchange like we're having.
Absolutely.
Hello, it's good to see you again. What are your concerns? And have the opportunity to applaud if you like the answers.
Oh, okay.
We were reprimanded on multiple occasions again for applauding when we heard what we liked. If a candidate said what we wanted to hear, people in the audience applauded.
Exactly.
And I think the forum was a small community. I mean, the 7th Ward is pretty small. I think geographically, it's one of the most productive voter wards.
Right.
But geographically, I think it's a small ward. I think we can walk around the whole ward.
Mm-hmm.
And the candidate that is sitting in the seat that was given the seat
Mm-hmm.
by this administration, whom I disagree with, has not made any approach. I mean, when I go to council and ask, could you tell me what's happening at Pierce Park? Could you tell me what they're doing over there? The person won't even look at me and never responds to me. Well, that's not someone I'm anxious to run to the ballot box on August and vote for.
Right.
You know, where Jan Marie Arbor returns my calls, encourages me to go to the dais and talk to the community, or she was glad to see us there, came by and said, "Hello, I'm glad you're here this evening." Both candidates didn't do that. Only one candidate did that to anyone that I saw there. And I thought that just happened when I was around, but it seems like it happens in the neighborhood too often. And I think of the 7th Ward, that's governmental, those kind of words.
Mm-hmm.
7th Ward is a governmental word.
Mhm.
To us,
Right.
we live in a community. We are neighbors.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
We do chit chat.
Right.
We do say hello when we're out
Right.
and together.
And we'll
you know.
shovel your snow or cut your grass
Right.
when you need it cut because you can't do it. Or You need a bottle of water when I go to the store. I think that's what's happening in politics now.
Uh-oh.
That
Look,
could be
you see,
wrong.
he sat
I gotta
back. He
take
got
my
ready
glasses
now.
off.
Oh my
It's gonna be
goodness.
hot up in
He
here.
took his
Is
glasses
that
off.
we have
I'm
people
gonna
that
grab my
figure that
fan.
get the fan out. We have people that think that they're unapproachable, that I'm here and everybody else is somewhere else. Long time ago, when you have politics like that, the people really didn't vote in the way that the group wanted it voted for.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Come to your house. Y'all can go look it up. Come to your house. We'll have a discussion with the candidate that's in the office now. If you do corrective your behaviors, or there's going to be a problem. Now we have people that are there that I can get in and do what I want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely unacceptable because I'm good. It's okay for certain development of certain, beautiful, great. But at the same time, if there's a house here that's been abandoned and burned or whatever might have happened to the house, and it's still there 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years later, and make a phone call and it's still there, well, she'd only have to make one phone call. But if I know you, I can knock on your door.
Mm-hmm.
We can have breakfast. I can take you over here and say, you need to have this house taken down. And it doesn't take forever to do it. So this unapproachability is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you feel it is right now?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I'm not sure, and I hope he's still around. Jack Miner, I'll never forget him. We had a really bad, oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my condolences and praise to his family. We had a really bad storm, really bad. Knocked down some trees. We were without power for like almost a week. This man came out with his chainsaw. He helped us cut this tree down so we could clear the road back over here.
Wow.
Or he would come over with a snow thrower, and then we had elders in the community, and he would shovel their snow with us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That person right there is the standard for me.
Well, now we have council people that allow elders in our community to be called dumb, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and get paid by administration to continue working. Yes.
Well,
That's why I
they
played
should be
limbo music
right,
last
right,
week, because I said, how low can you go?
Right.
And they went lower. But yeah, I was thinking about what you brought up as far as not being able to clap, those kinds of things. I had never heard of anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen anything like that before, because we were hearing things that we agreed with
Mm-hmm.
from Jan Marie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
She was the winner.
my apologies.
I'm sorry.
No, man, please.
I felt that
In
she
your
was,
head, she was in your
yes,
mind.
I thought that she won.
Why?
Because she engaged the community. She
Mhm.
has talked to us, and she gave back to us our conversations with her, and I thought that was huge. Because if you're just going to tell us who you are, we can read your bio, we can go on Facebook,
Right.
you can pass out papers. I mean, that's nothing. We want to have an opportunity to engage with candidates, and that's what community forums should be. We're here to engage with you in more than 5 minutes between each category, because we can't engage with each other. And we can't get a business card that quickly. We just can't, you know. And one of the things that candidates do is, I'm from out of town, but you don't tell us that your dad is L. Brooks Patterson, the previous administrator at Oakland County.
That was in the other
Category. You know,
Yeah,
you
but-
can't just do those
You know,
kinds of
we also
things,
know L. Brooks Patterson's policies too.
which influences who his child is,
Yeah,
who
right.
was there on the stage but didn't tell us that. I mean, you can't. That's why we have smartphones now, so that we can
So you
look
can
that
look
up.
them up,
And
because
that's exactly
and that's
what I
you
did that evening. That's exactly what I did. Because
But
well, we really couldn't see the stage well.
that was difficult. That
It
you
was
couldn't
for
really
me.
see their faces. So you know, when you're talking to people, you want to see.
Right.
I want to see
Right,
your
right,
expression. So
right.
that part was kind of hard.
So I think maybe the idea of the forum was to introduce the candidates.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't want us to have any interaction, you should have had a smaller group and then do something maybe next week, so that there can be some interaction between the audience that you're invited there to listen to and these persons there who are trying to vie for our votes.
Right.
You're not going to do that to listen to them talk. I don't want to hear you talk.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear you respond to what I need.
Yeah. And what are your responses to my questions?
Right.
Yeah.
So they should have had maybe a
Classrooms. We
forum.
could have all met in classrooms.
So,
Small group meetings.
well, based on, okay, so there were certain questions that were asked. So you said based on the questions that were provided.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I thought they
Did
were
you-
very stiff.
did you hear anything that you I mean, you obviously, because you were clapping, and I want to go back to something you did too, because I appreciated that. But you
Yes,
were
I think
clapping.
I was applauding for most of the things that Jan Marie said
Mm-hmm.
and that Mr. Clack said, who was the only person who was there for the category he was running in, which I thought was, like a slap in the face to the community. No explanation. You didn't send someone else from your office there. You just were there.
Well, this is the untouchable thing that I think that we see in now modern day politics, where people get elected, there are no term limits, so they're there for the rest of their lives, and they can make whatever policy that they want to based upon who they're attached to, not based upon policy that's going to be beneficial for the people that they serve.
Excellent point.
They don't.
Mhm.
You can see
Or
people
will
be
resort to recalls.
right. Well,
Which we
but
had to
still,
do
but how
that.
long is that going to take?
It does
Okay.
take a lot
A
of time.
long
and
time
effort.
ago, the recall was, I'm going to knock on your door and we need to see you outside now.
Mhm.
Okay, you either change your policy or we'll see you tomorrow.
Mhm.
But now, with no term limits and people can be in office forever, the late Strom Thurmond was one. He was in office. He died at 100. He was been in office since he was 102. So,
Ooh, what a thought.
you're right. So, but we understood his policy from the time he was there.
Mhm.
It's like one of the candidates that was mentioned, and was her father or grandfather. We knew what his policy was, and it's still in force today.
Mhm.
You drive through Oakland County. If it says
Oh,
70, you
shoot.
better do 69 and a half.
That's right.
That's it, period. They
That's-
get you,
this is
you
true.
get maximum time
Mhm.
based upon what his policies were, but they
Mhm.
still in force today. But if you're going to have a forum that way, you don't have all of these candidates there, because if you're just doing introductions, that's all you say. Make it very clear. We're just doing introductions. No discussion, no questions. But if you have people there, I don't need to sit there for 2 hours listening to people talk about something. I want to talk to you. I want to have a dialogue with you. I want to know what it is that you're thinking, what it is that you're doing, and what you're going to provide for me. If not, don't waste my time.
Well, I did see you get up and walk out when and it was.
Oh, yeah, because I'm not going to have somebody tell me to be quiet.
Well, and that's what was so.
That's
because
what I'm not. You're not going to.
we
do
were
that.
told
You don't have the opportunity
we-
to ever tell me to be quiet at
Right.
a place that I volunteered to come to. Then I can volunteer to leave. I put my glasses back on.
I'm not mad at you.
I applaud you.
Because we were told if you feel like you have to clap, maybe you should remove
Mhm.
yourself.
Okay, no problem. I drove up here. The only reason why I didn't leave earlier is because I took a neighbor home, and I waited for her because she wanted to listen. Other than that, I could have drove home.
Or walked home as far as that goes.
Yeah,
We live
that's
that close in the
true.
neighborhood.
But you made your point.
Mhm.
You made your point.
Yeah. So y'all are dragging me into something that I had kind of sort of stayed away
What
from.
are we dragging you into?
Politics. But see, the thing is people want to have affiliations. I don't have affiliations with anybody. It's about our community. What are
It
we
is.
trying to leave
It is.
for the next group of
Right,
people that are coming
exactly.
forward
Exactly.
after us? Where, I don't want to stay here in Flint no more. I don't want to stay here. Well, what's the reason to stay? I get it. Give the younger people coming behind us a
Mhm.
reason to be here,
Right.
a reason to want to stay here. At one time, this city made the black middle class.
Yes, we did.
At one time, there were close to 400,000 residents here, with over 20,000 people going to 4 different high schools and middle schools and elementary schools.
And
Back
no
in the
charter
50s and the
schools.
60s.
At one
There's
time.
absolutely no
Mhm,
charter schools,
mhm.
which is a whole nother subject.
Yeah. But yeah.
But there were no charter schools. You make the black middle class here. Sit-down strike takes place here in 1937.
Mhm.
1967, we changed the housing line where we can move wherever we wanted to. This is the place that did that.
This is the place that
And
did
we
that.
lived in
Flint did.
Evergreen Valley, and there their neighborhood covenant before we were allowed to move in there said no colors can move in this
Absolutely.
neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And we changed that just by doing it.
Yeah.
Just by doing it.
Mhm.
And that's what we have to do. We're
And
just
now-
going to take it in our own hands and do it.
And now we have people that didn't get a dime of the ARPA dollars
Oh,
because people are putting them voting for themselves and their 501c3s to get money.
Which is illegal, correct?
You're supposed to,
Exactly.
you should recuse yourself. You should not be voting for
there's some
yourself.
morals involved. in that.
Exactly. You shouldn't do that.
Mhm.
You're right. You should. That is something that should not be taking place.
We should ask for one of the council people to give us a complete audit to date. How many churches have received ARPA money and how much and for what? So that we are privy to that. How many organizations of the council members that they belong to that have received, and then their personal 401c. We should have an audit of that to date at the next council meeting, or ASAP. We should know that. And we can add that all up ourselves to see what hasn't come to the community. No roof, no window, no furnace, no hot water heater is appalling. I mean, it's immoral to have had all that money. Even Kildee came out against this administration directly and spoke about the money, truckloads of money that came here and weren't used properly. That's why the city's in the situation they are with the pipes, because the governor's coming back in to do the work that this administration isn't doing. Again, and it's like, I mean, it's intolerable.
So we want people in office that will hold people accountable,
Yes.
not just go along,
Yes.
not just rubber stamp.
Yes. Yes.
And so we
And
have
not bully people, not yell at people, not insult people, not if you go to make a point that you aren't insulted for the questions that you have. I mean, it's just a myriad of things
Mhm.
of how you could better serve the community. As a community, don't get into this war like the park isn't your neighborhood park. It's everyone's park.
Right.
All these parks belong to everyone.
Right.
So I had somebody that made a comment that said a town hall's purpose is for public engagement. That's when you have a town hall, questions from the public, and it's typically held prior to debate. The forum is often pre-designed by organizers, but
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
engage questions from
Right.
the audience. And I'm good with that. The only part that I was not good with, I can go along with that for sure. The part that I wasn't good with was being told you can't clap. Because when you go to a forum, when you go to a town hall,
Or
when you go
church.
to a debate, when you hear something that you are in support of, you clap. The people that don't clap at those things are judges who sit there and
Right.
because they're supposed to be
Mhm.
unbiased.
Mhm.
But other people clap. You see it all the time.
Mhm.
And for us to not be able to be chastised, that was my issue with that. Am I glad that there was the forum? Yes, because I wanted to see the two side by side and hear what they were going to say.
Mhm.
Because you have to have somebody, something to compare it to.
Mhm.
So with the questions that were given, I mean, did you get a flavor? You got a flavor. You said you got a flavor. Did you get a flavor?
But I know that the questions that were given were about being able to expound upon who the candidates were and what their ideals are and what they may bring to their position if they get elected.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still, and I understand the response that someone just gave about a forum.
Right.
But then that should have been stated earlier. And I don't
Okay.
believe that it was, and maybe I was a couple minutes late and I didn't hear that part. But if it was a forum where we're just going to introduce the candidates, that's fine. But you can also put that in the mail and tell me the very same thing that you asked on the question. And I don't have to spend 2 hours here of my volunteer time to not be able to ask questions of a candidate that I want to be able to know. If you say you're going to do this, I'm going to hold you accountable for it.
Well, they did say that. Well, they said they were going to do some things, and one of them said they weren't going to do anything differently. She did. Did you hear that?
I might have won that.
I was really in the hall.
He said I was
No, I
gone.
might have-
But the
might have
other
stepped
thing
away at
is,
that point.
oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm so
please.
sorry. So one of the things that I think we could call it a debate, a forum, whatever. It was at Scott School.
Right,
Hello, that's the neighborhood.
right,
We didn't dress up to go to that.
right.
We came in our very casual clothes, shorts, tennis shoes. I don't think I bothered to, freshen up my hair or anything for the event. So it's a casual setting. We're in a neighborhood elementary school. What do? We are comfortable. We're sitting in our seats and we're expecting a dialogue.
And that's,
Well,
I think, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No.
That's always going to be my point. If the forum is just to introduce the candidates, you're wasting my time.
Okay,
If we're
so
going to
that
be able
one,
to have
that
a
one
dialogue,
wasn't for you.
yeah, if we're
There's
going to
gonna
be
be
able to
some
have
other
a
ones.
dialogue, I want to talk to people. I don't want to just, hey, how you doing? I can meet you on
And
the
so-
street, at the store, whatever. I don't care.
And so maybe that's what this one was for. Well, I'll tell you what I noticed though from that forum. It was very, when we talk about the 7th Ward candidates, it was very, there was strong opinion, there was strong support in one direction versus another.
Right. Well, because
Outstandingly, loudly, and with applause, who that neighborhood community supported.
Right.
And we have every right to do that. And we will do that at the ballot box.
And so what do you think the reasons are though? That's what I want to talk about.
Well,
Why was it so strongly one way?
Because
it seemed like it
Because
was.
Jan Marie Arbor returns my calls, engages me, sent me the information to come to the.
right.
The other council person has never come to my house, has never approached me at city council, has never answered any of my questions I've asked about the 7th Ward there. So I don't expect to get a comment or, and it's not about whether I like you or don't like you, or you live over on that side and you live on that side. It's a neighborhood, it's a community,
Right.
and that's the way we should be responding to.
Right.
I go to other conversations in other neighborhoods. In fact, I went to the Latinx Center when they were doing Imagine Flint because I wanted to get another perspective. I kind of know how my community feels in a lot of cases, but I thought, let me go just a little bit further over there and see what they think about Imagine Flint.
So why were so many people though at the one Monday? Why do you think they all seem to be leaning in one direction?
Oh, well, personally, I think Jan Marie has engaged the community. Jan Marie, all by herself, made sure that the 7th Ward, which is the political geography, stayed intact because there was a movement politically to move out where the preponderance of the Black people lived. And she stepped forward. We didn't call her up. We didn't say get organized. We didn't email everybody. I mean, she saw the need and addressed it.
Right.
She has come to council. She has spoken to council. She has expressed herself. She shared her phone number. I mean, come on, what else are we asking for? That's what we want. Someone I can talk to, who I can be engaged with, who listens to me.
If you're going to be a community,
It doesn't
do
give
it
you
for real.
warnings.
Right.
Oh,
when
who
you
never
go to-
reprimands me at 81 next month.
Oh,
No, we're going to have a birthday party
That's
up
right.
here.
Right.
that's
Absolutely.
right. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And I agree with that completely because if I don't know you, I'm not going to vote for you.
So do you not know your current?
I had no clue who she was until I saw her on Monday.
See, so it's good you came to the forum.
I never knew her.
So at least,
At least I know.
Yeah, because you want at least if you see,
Right.
you now know.
Right.
And with our feet on the ground and our casual clothes on, and my flip flops are on, I want to say it's important to not give up your culture as one who's going to conduct the evening's forum or whatever they've decided to call it, and then turn to the audience. Again, I say, it's like, what are you talking about? Again, you say. You don't do that. You don't interrupt a crowd of community people and talk. Have you lost your culture? My culture is proud and Black. We had 19 days of Juneteenth. We are here. We are casual, just like we are sitting here. I mean, none of us would say that, anything like that to one another.
No.
We would defer. We would
Right.
defer,
But if you're doing your job, sorry,
I want to hear. Look, I perked up.
but if you're doing your job, then you don't have to worry about any backlash from the community that you say you're representing and they're supposed to support you if you're doing what you're supposed to do. If people know you, if maybe the money didn't get over here, or maybe the house didn't get torn down, but at least I talked to you about that, and then you know what's coming. Then I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know you, never seen you, we don't have any dialogue, I don't get a flyer from you, I don't get a knock on the door from your group of people that you got walking around over here, knocking on people's door to vote for you.
And been in that position for a year?
10
Well,
months.
see, I didn't even know.
Excuse me, 10 months. That's very close.
And I didn't know the candidate before that. All I know is I heard
Oh.
somebody
Rotor.
got elected or put in that position,
Yeah.
and I had no clue.
Mhm.
Now, the one before that, I knew her, and she came by my house,
Right,
and we talked.
right, exactly.
So that made me feel, okay, well, we have a dialogue,
Right.
I'm connected,
I know,
so,
right. I know who
you
you
know,
are.
I got
talk
you.
with you.
and I would tell people, hey, this is my little sister, vote for her,
Mhm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this new stuff where I'm just sneaking in or going around the corner.
And race baiting. There's some race baiting going on in the 7th Ward that has me very angry, very angry. And we're being manipulated at council with words that are race oriented. And then we want to go to the ethics board and defend. No, we're not going to support a candidate that is doing race baiting. I don't care where you live. I'll go and knock on some other area to make sure that doesn't occur. But no, that is no.
Interesting.
We're done with that. That's over and out. We're not doing that anymore. You know. And there's video time of that. You know.
Mhm.
At the previous council meeting, not the last one, but the one preceding that. Yes, penultimate. I remember the people.
See, but it just seemed like people in the 7th Ward are not happy.
That's what I'm thinking. And wanting change.
Mhm.
And we're gonna get it.
They're wanting change, and you know what? And you see that across.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's across the board.
Right. I was going to
Because
say
if
it's
you-
not just the
No.
7th Ward.
Because if you're going to do something in one area, do the same thing in the other area.
Mhm.
For
I don't-
everyone.
I know people, when I talk about local politics, I think it's pretty simple. If you got a pie and it's got 8 or 10 pieces or however many pieces that you cut it in, let's say 8. Some of the slices are going to be larger because you got a few more pepperoni on this side than on this side. But as long as you take the resources and the pepperoni, the cheese, whatever you put on there, and make sure that it's divided equitably. So if you got a small slice over here because your population is smaller, as long as you still get a same percentage,
Mhm.
that's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine. But don't put more pepperoni on this side and more cheese on this side, and all I got over here is a little bit of
Red
sauce
sauce.
and bread.
Mhm.
But they got all of the pepperoni, they got all of the cheese, and I got nothing, but y'all still in the same slice. Don't do it. Just make it equitable. What are we arguing about? We just got one set of we have one pizza.
Mhm.
Why in the world are we arguing about you should get more over there and I should have less?
Mhm.
If you got more pepperoni over there, you're supposed to have more. It's okay.
And graciously,
You're right.
share.
Right. But if I need some help, then I need you to slide a couple pepperoni on this
Mhm.
side.
And I would like to speak to that, Mr. McCants. Last council meeting, 9th Ward councilperson, Mr. Jarrett, stepped up and decided that he was going to vote for, there was $30,000 that was allotted to each of the wards.
Mm-hmm.
And 2nd Ward councilperson wanted to take 10 of that and use it for grass cutting and blight and that kind of stuff. And 2nd Ward councilperson was just in a very angry, cantankerous mood that night. But he rose above that and he said, I'm going to vote for that because it's for the community.
For the community.
It was for the community. So all the way from the 8th, 9th Ward,
Mhm.
all the way to the 2nd Ward, I'm going to vote yes for your request
Mhm.
because it's for the
It's
community.
for the community.
Well,
Benefit.
And that's what
And
we
that's
want to
what you're
see.
talking about.
Because
Yes.
things have been made so personal.
Right.
Yeah.
They've been made personal,
Mhm.
and we've lost. It's about the community,
Right.
and it's about the people. And so I think people are looking for change because we see what's happening right in front of our faces.
And collaboration. I thought that was a good definition of we can work together. Okay, so you got a bad day. Just don't have them every resolution. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Can't be a cantankerous person on every resolution. If we've got 30 of them tonight,
Right.
you know, and I think there might have been 30 because I think I left after 11 o'clock and they weren't finished.
In the evening?
Yes.
Oh, no, that's not.
Yes, and we had just done finance. They hadn't gotten to the other two committees, and one person had been thrown out. And that, can I talk about that some more?
Well, what happened?
So again,
What
we all
happened? I
have
want to
different.
know.
We all have different
Inquiring
tones.
minds.
We all have different tones on our voices. Some of us have voices that carry across that room that has acoustics, and some voices don't. And one person there, Baby Doll, who I adore, has a big voice.
Right.
She's like a couple, like Mr. Mays.
Right. I was
If
gonna
he
say.
just gently would be talking to you, you would hear him
Anyway,
because he
right.
projects. That's just the nature of his being. Where I gotta be on the microphone because you can't hear my voice. So I can, talk around in there. But because some council people, there are the five, spend more time listening to what the audience is saying rather than working on the resolutions that are in front of them or informing one another or educating the audience. You're talking, I can hear you. Oh, so what difference does it make? So what if you can't? Just keep managing yourself. You can do that. You can do that. But no, we had to hear about her grandfather canning squash and the da, which is why the council meetings go on so long. I mean, it's like fifth ward, was it fifth ward that Christine the fifth ward? She's the sixth ward. What's her ward? Fourth ward. Fourth ward. Honest to God, I sat there and listened to
That would be
the
Judy
story.
Priestley?
Yes,
Okay.
stories of her grandfather
So
and the importance of learning to can on and on. I know if she had 5 minutes, we got 5 minutes of knowing about her grandfather and canning at council meeting. And that's why we were there at 11 o'clock and they hadn't finished all of the finance committee.
So if it seems like, looks like, the agenda is about what I'm getting out of it personally to further my political ideas or whatever it is, instead of really trying to serve the community. So, which is the reason why, if you have a forum and you have people talking, I want to talk to you because then I'm gonna root out what you're really there for. Because I'm gonna ask you enough questions instead of you telling me I can't talk and I just gotta listen to you. I'm gonna ask you enough questions in order to find out whether you're there or not and what you're there for. And so therefore, if you're not there, I'm not gonna vote for you. And anybody I know, I'm gonna tell them don't vote for you because you're there for personal reasons and not for reasons of the community.
So you made me think about something different. I'm gonna go back to Monday night. Because even though it wasn't like the setup that because everybody responds to different kinds of setups and getting information differently.
Yeah.
But we can go to state rep.
Oh,
There are two,
to the two, only one showed up. My
and I think
candidate.
I think there are actually three.
Oh, that's right, a
Even
Republican.
though there's 2 Democrats and a Republican. The one Democrat showed up.
He did.
And
Mr. Clack.
I'm not even going to talk about the party.
Michael
One person
Clack.
showed up. Michael
Correct.
Clack
Yes, he
showed
did.
up. The incumbent
No show.
has never showed up for a
And where
a
is their
forum.
business in the 7th ward?
forum ever
In the 7th ward. It's
To-
their business.
for you to sit there and have to listen to. I'm just going to answer the questions that I'm asked because the candidates don't have anything to do with how, but has never showed up. What did you think about that?
Well, for me, it correlates with the lack of presence at the state level. It's been reported at the state level that of all the people that are there, 5th from the bottom for not being present
To vote.
To vote.
And that's what you're
From
there
the
to.
bottom.
You're there
that
to
is
vote because you're
just-
supposed to be our voice, and you've missed that many voting opportunities on behalf of this community.
Yes.
So then when people get elected, again, over and over and over again, it's about their popularity. It's not about their accountability to the citizens that they're supposed to represent. This happens over and over and over again. I remember years ago, a person that I know and love came and knocked on my door and asked me about voting for him for Flint Board of Education position. My question was, as an educator, what is your policy for the students that you're going to be representing? He didn't give me one. I didn't vote for him. He won anyway because he was popular.
And
This is insanity. This got to stop because nothing happened for the students at that point in time anyway during that person's reign as a board member, and then he becomes president, and still nothing happened.
And so they said, but to their credit, who was it? The Block Watchers
Oh, yeah.
Association invited all
Absolutely.
candidates.
Right.
You sure
One,
did.
Absolutely.
one
And the
showed
cats
up
make sure.
for state representative.
Mhm.
And the fact that our current state representative has never come and talked to anybody. I mean,
Who's the highest voting ward in the city of Flint? 7th Ward.
War all the time.
So you don't care about us?
you don't care about it. Doesn't matter.
That's
Doesn't
right.
matter if it's the 7th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th,
That's true.
8th, and 9th.
That's true.
I'm not coming to talk to you
Yeah.
all, but vote for me.
But and what's the reason?
Yeah.
Why should I vote for you? I don't
I'm
know
voting
you.
for Michael Clack. Oh, did you ask me?
Oh, but you can
Oh,
tell
But
us.
okay.
That's okay. I
Who
mean,
I'm voting for.
I would like you to at least have enough respect for me. And by me, I'm saying the community, not me,
Right.
to show up.
Right. Absolutely.
And
That's
sometime you might not be able to do it all of the
Right.
time because other things happen, but not once.
That was an important meeting
Not
because
one
your
time.
office is right there.
right.
Your office is in the neighborhood. That's it really felt like an insult. It hurt.
Well, we've been insulted over and over
Yeah, and I don't like it.
as far as that goes. We've been
But
insulted
we've been working
over.
hard for recalls.
I just think that
Miss Beverly
recalls are
gets a
great.
round of applause.
Recalls
Is that
are
how you
great.
do that? That's how you
It's
do a round of
applause.
oh,
That's
a
from grade
round
school,
of-
right? We did that in grade
Is that
school.
what you're
round
talking
of applause.
See, I hadn't seen that.
Me neither.
All right. Teach us.
I just said,
Tell us something.
You better clap because I said so.
No.
Oh,
A couple comments.
And we follow directions,
Right.
don't we?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You said you
know,
better clap.
When we wanna.
I like that.
We got a quick
Oh, okay.
Oh,
comment from Truth Be Told. That's 3 comments. Town halls are for Q&A with the public.
Mhm.
A forum prior to an election is not designed for a back and forth Q&A with the public.
Mhm.
Then they said Mashat did not respond to the invites to participate. She just showed up.
You know what?
wow.
You're right. Whoever said that, they're right. Because they sent you all. I keep saying you all sent a
That's
paper
right.
out
Mhm,
that said who had responded,
mhm.
who was coming. And so, what do you think made her come at the last? Was it a last minute decision? What do you all think?
Well, it sounds like there was pressure to show up because if you have people that are clamoring and saying you're taking care of one part of the ward and not the other part, then you at least you have to show your face. But like I said, that's the first time I've seen that person.
So you felt like she was pressured. So, what do you think?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't even care. I go to council to interact,
So,
and she doesn't even look at me. So,
but that makes me wonder. So, you think she was pressured? I think she heard you probably
right,
didn't show up.
absolutely.
I do believe that. So, what does it take
So
to get
then-
the state representative to show up?
I was going to say, in that same
But you don't vote
administration.
for them. At the end of the day, you don't vote for them. You vote them out of office. That's it. You just vote them out. All of this
But
other,
but that goes back to what you said earlier. You
Yeah.
said people vote because
unpopular.
right. So how do you
Michael
change
Flack.
that?
Remember that name, Michael Flack.
How do you
Well,
change that?
You got to
Get out the vote.
put some pressure on people,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to make some demands, and you got to be serious about what you demand.
Okay.
You can't do it like they used to do back in the day, where you go knock on the door, and you can't do that. That's, you love to, but you really can't do that anymore
Why not?
because people are soft.
Oh, I did. I knocked all over. I walked.
But
I
that
knocked down.
absolutely.
Because
But
I
when
wanted to hear from the
Right.
people. I wanted them to hear what I thought. I wanted to hear what they thought.
absolutely.
But you're saying that doesn't happen.
No,
that it
that-
didn't happen.
No, but and if you're going to vote for someone because they're popular, that's asinine. I don't need you to be popular. I need you to make sure that we're going to be okay. I'm entrusting my life, the life of my children, the life of my future in your hands to make the right decisions for us in our tomorrow. If you're not going to do that, then you can't be there anymore.
Well
And
said.
if I, as a school teacher, if I'm horrible, pull me out of the class.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let me stay there because
And hurt the children.
I'm hurting our future, so
Right.
to speak.
That's
Right.
Don't let me be there because you need a body to fill in.
Mhm.
If I'm just there because I'm trying to collect a paycheck, I need to leave. But that's because I have a different morality, a different view of things.
Thank goodness.
Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And you, Mr.
So I would like to encourage everybody to contact the city clerk and get your absentee ballot.
Yeah.
And that way, if you don't want to walk a mile or 2 miles when you used to could walk a couple blocks,
Yeah.
you can in the comfort of your own home make the decision easy for you, and don't hesitate to do that. Make it easy for yourself. You can vote the day of the election. You can register and vote the day
Yes,
of
you
the
can.
election. And I want everybody to know and understand that, and drag a friend and neighbor along.
And you know what else I want people to know? Because I was out today, and a guy was telling me he couldn't vote because he was a felon.
Oh,
And it's like,
you can.
and you can.
That's right.
And so we need people to know, yes, you can.
Yes,
vote.
you can. That's
You
right.
can. They want us to think
That's right.
that we can't. And that's a myth. It's like, how do we bust that myth?
Right.
That's what I want to know.
Speaking of problems like that, councilperson in the first ward voted to have someone arrested at city council, but yet stands up for people, allegedly. that
First word, I had to think that because that was Councilman Elliott.
Mhm.
What happened?
So he voted for our Woodson to be arrested. And he hosts forums or whatever they are to help get your name expunged and to take the next step and go to court and make sure you've taken the second most important part of that. But yet you'll sit in a seat and vote for someone to be removed from the council.
Oh, because they
Have
have
your
a voice.
personal, or yes, vote, remove them, or stop the removal, stop what the
Right.
police are doing. If that's your platform and that's what you want to be known for, then do it at the council.
Right.
Stand up for the people that are being extracted from the room, who's trying to voice their concerns and frustrations. And we have a lot of frustrations.
We have a lot of
We
frustration.
still can't drink the
Rightfully
water
so.
10 years.
Right. And we haven't heard people really speaking up about
That's
these
right.
issues. And I think that's why
Right.
residents are so angry.
Right.
And that's
Can
why
you-
we're looking for change. And
That's
that's
right.
why you have all of these things going
Right.
on as far as recalls,
Right.
because people have gotten tired, frustrated, angry,
Right.
rightfully so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have the power to make those changes.
But you can't go in another space and say, oh no, in another space I'm wearing this hat and these are my views. They're either your views in every room you're in
Right.
or they're
Right.
not.
Right.
Don't select where you're going to be for the people and against the jail.
Right.
Well, you know what? We're almost out of time. It's about time for us to go. But I do want to say thank you all for coming. I'm glad you're here. We have to have conversations about what's going on in our community
Yes,
and hear
ma'am,
how people
absolutely.
feel about things and get some information out there. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Weaver this evening.
And vote for Jan Marie Arbor are my closing words for 7th Ward Council person.
All right. Thank you.